Event really when you think about it. Meghan Markle and Prince Harry, well, deciding of course now to go and trace her roots, her ancestral roots, whatever you want to call them. 43% Nigerian. Now, you know, a lot of people have been very, well, dismissive, shall we say. And until, of course, like everything you see with the Sussexes, you see some concrete proof, then everything has to be open to speculation. I mean, we're not quite sure exactly where Meghan got this new material. Did she simply pick it up online? Or was it in fact really, you know, one of those well-administrated things? Who knows? But when you consider, as I've said many times in the past, things that Meghan's claimed happened that seriously didn't, like the fire with Prince Archie, and she had to go out to work, remember that? And then of course the secret wedding, you really can't take anything very seriously. But one thing you can take seriously is the fact that clearly Meghan and Harry want to keep their children in suspicious circumstances. And I don't say that lightly. As ever, let me explain. Morning, lovely to see you today. Thank you so much for joining me. Nice to have your company. Wow, a lot of comments on the Visit Britain and their new Walker Artery stuff. Thank you for the comments on that. Totally agree. And obviously, you know, we get debate on this show. Some agree, some don't. But it is ridiculous, isn't it? Names are what they are, and it's only the time that moves names on. And let's be honest, everybody who's watching this show, I'm sure a percentage of us at least, we don't know all of those phrases, do we? You know what I mean? The cool phrases that kids are saying. But way back in the 60s, you had all sorts of things, didn't you? Let's be honest. Cool, happening, you know, and that wouldn't have been normal for the people of your generation back, would it? Everything moves on, but some of the stuff is simply just ridiculous. I'm glad you agree. Thank you so much as ever for your interest in that video. We'll have a quick wave. You all right? Thank you so much for joining me. Yes, Nigeria is on the horizon. Oh, I bet people can't wait there. And as you can imagine, it's already wrapped up in this sort of fakery about how the Invictus Games could be going there. That's going to cost a lot of money. And I believe that Nigeria doesn't have that much money to host that. I don't necessarily see Meghan and Harry snapping up in their purse from Netflix to make that happen either. Can you imagine what the outfit bill for that would be? And no doubt the 5-star deluxe hotels or whatever's available out there. I have a very good friend who goes to Nigeria on a regular basis, and he has a business there. And he tells me that he's baffled by this particular invite because they're not necessarily that popular in that part of the world. That wouldn't stop Meghan, of course, for adoration, as we've now found out. But what's interesting here is the fact that both Harry and Meghan have that invite, but also it invited, well, other people, including their children. Now, what I find fascinating about this is the children that we never see. You know, they don't get invited, for instance, to the Invictus Games. They're not invited like other people's children to the polo matches. Where are those children? You know, the question has to be, are they now denying their own children the opportunity to experience the world, as of course Prince Harry did as a member of the British monarchy, travelling up and down the world with his mother and of course His Majesty the King. This would make a perfect time to introduce the children, particularly as Meghan's on her own personal pilgrimage to check out her Nigerian roots. Now, I've been told from an excellent source, and as ever we have to say allegedly here, that the bottom line is that the invite was for the family. Now the family, as I pointed out the other day, did include Doria Ragland, although quite why her ancestry, that you'd have to go quite a bit back to find that to relative that, but there you go. I could be mistaken, and I will be standing corrected if so. But what's interesting here is, no, they will not take the children. So they're happy basically to go halfway around the world and experience this wonderful adventure themselves, and they talk about friendship, empathy, and of course wearing t-shirts talking about being a good mother. Clearly this doesn't start at home, and clearly this would be a wonderful opportunity for Meghan to introduce at least her eldest son to, of course, her heritage, the one that she's now so proudly banging a drum about. Meanwhile, the jam's literally fallen off the pedestal. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.